we're going to take a quick sidestep here to do a little bonus about the 2 club episodes this month, because I don't want to do a Season 5 episode at the end of the year, because we haven't done our Season 4 episode yet. So, this will be edited out and put in as a separate thing. So, quickly, John did hear this one. Rewinding the big picture, when Camilla thinks her friend needs cheering up, but her comments keep backfiring, Wit sends her in the room of consequence to give Camilla a second chance to say the right things, and a third, and a fourth.
I remember this. I don't remember how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I remember kind of liking it because the ending didn't quite fall on Olivia's side of, oh, she was being good-spirited, just... What's her name?
Was it something like her parents were fighting?
Oh, no, her mom...
Or her grandma.
Her grandma has Alzheimer's.
Oh, now I remember. Her grandma had Alzheimer's, and then she goes to pray with her, and then the grandma starts remembering. And I'm just like, okay, I get you're trying to, like, hammer in that, like, see what this can do, but that just felt a little like... like, really? Like, sure, that's probably happened before, but it's just...
Right.
Are you okay, Will?
I'm fine. That's about as mad as he got in the car ride, too.
Like, I'm not mad about it. It's just like...
It's even weirder because it kind of is aping the ending to Coco, but they definitely weren't thinking that when they wrote the episode.
That's not even... That doesn't even, I would say... That doesn't even apply. My real... I get where you're coming from.
Wait, Coco, the, like, new movie?
The Disney movie, yes.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
Like, the problem is, it just, like, kind of, like... What? I don't even know what they were going for with that. Like, I get they were doing, like, see if sometimes... like, you don't have to make things better, like, God will help you through it, and I feel like there was a point to say, like, oh, maybe praying, and she's like, I feel better, but then have the grandma suddenly start remembering everything, like, super clearly. It was just kind of like, sometimes Odyssey goes a little overboard.
I think they should have tried Wit's Imagination Station memory cure they used for Eugene.
Oh, yeah, that might have been... That would kind of lead to the question of, well, why doesn't Wit use that on everybody? But,
yeah.
I do agree with John. The Alzheimer's thing is weird, because if this was a year 1 or year 2 club episode, I'd be thinking, oh, they teamed up with some company, and they had this episode written, they're just going to kind of retrofit that ending in. But,
yeah.
What
happened to teaming up with, like, organizations? They kind of stopped that.
I think the organizations realized it wasn't helping.
Because, you know, the very first episode in Uganda, in Uganda.
I know. Wait, you didn't like the episode where a dog chewed up the Operation Christmas Child tape?
I went back and listened to that one, and I was like, they could have done a lot better with the topic.
Right. I mean, to be fair, it was one of the more solid early club episodes. It's just when they ever had to detour into marketing Operation Christmas Child. But, it's a fine, if a little forgettable episode, because it doesn't go far enough into the comedy of her redoing everything.
I mean, they have done those episodes over and over again with, like, what is it? The one with Jay and Priscilla, the birthday one?
Yeah.
Eternal Birthday, and then...
This. It's a trope
Groundhog Jay.
Oh, yeah. Well, that one was at least kind of fun because it gave you an unconventional pairing, but, my only thing is looking at the...
that's true.
Yeah, although looking at the artwork, I think they aged up Camilla a few years.
Well, she doesn't sound like it.
Well, yeah, but the official artwork's a lot taller than the first one we saw of them. Okay, anyway, so this is the episode we've all been waiting to hear us talk about. Met his match. Penny Bassett teams up with Olivia Parker to play matchmaker for both Connie and Wit. It's really more Wit. They never set Connie up with anybody.
Because, you know, her profile.
Oh, yeah. So...
I mean, I still have the problem that, like, an easy solution, and I thought that's what they were going for who Connie could, like, date is, like, Jason. And, like, because there's already, like, that's, like, the only character that's all established that they haven't basically brought back hence Mitch, who's getting married, and that one guy from the early
Jeff
albums,
Lewis.
Jeff Lewis.
Well, he
who,
came
like,
back.
True.
Right, but like he was already like married or something, which like seemed weird to me. That like they could have done something like, oh, what you did, like help me, and they could have just done like, sure, we'll get Connie together with him. Like that would have been kind of like out of nowhere, but at least it would have been like, okay, like, and now really the only option without taking like several years to introduce another character is Jason.
They could bring
Yeah,
Jimmy.
that's true.
No, because here's the thing. I get like Connie was like in high school kind of when they introduced Jason, but I feel like it would still like fans would be kind of creeped out if like Jimmy and Connie got together. I think less so Connie and Jason got together.
That's true.
Because now they're
you know,
just
Whit almost walked Connie down the aisle, so now he would actually get to do that.
yeah.
Her dad doesn't show up again.
Connie's dad not showing up. Leah, what show have you been listening to? He's always there. Sorry. Okay. So
going crazy.
I am not going crazy. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Okay. So John, have you heard this one?
I haven't. You told me about it.
So we of course get Connie on E matchup. I'm not sure because this is a club, so we didn't team up with Christian Mingle.
I'm sure Focus on the Fan, like, I feel like in general they probably don't like dating websites.
Although they probably don't want to encourage 12-year-olds to go on a dating website.
Yeah.
But, you know, really, is it really 12-year-olds listening now?
That's a good question, Leah. We should take a poll. How many of you in our audience are under the age of 12?
Make sure you get your parents' permission before you respond to that question.
What? Are you like making an Odyssey joke or?
An overall joke.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Where was I?
I mean, it was a good episode, and I've listened to it a lot just when I've been bored and just need something to listen to in the background because it's entertaining. But
Yeah.
I mean, they could have done a lot more with it. Like,
Right.
matchup, that's the most creative name they could come up with.
I know. They don't have Connie bombarded by creepy guys, which is definitely a thing that happens.
Or they could have set this up for another Teach Buck a lesson. He has an online dating profile. Him and Connie get matched up.
That would have been funny. Or like Connie and Whit get matched up on the site somehow.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
That seems like one they would have actually done because it was all so ridiculous. That...
Yeah. But like when they try to hook him up with Mrs. Kramer could have come on a little stronger as far as like
yeah,
comedy.
that's true.
Because I can see her
And
doing
knowing her
that.
personality.
Yeah. To me, the biggest strike against this is the ending where Whit basically goes on this completely fake date. Dr. Graham knows about it too, just so we can kind of have this Whit moment of, you guys really shouldn't do this, as opposed to like Whit after having his haircut saying, hey guys, stop.
Yeah, that's true. I did like the fact that Connie was in on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For once, instead of her being on the other end of it.
That's true. That was a nice change. Although, again, if I were Mrs. Parker, I'd be a little ticked off that Whit let it go on for that long. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Although, Leah, looking at the official artwork, you texted me, isn't Dr. Graham a little too young for Whit? Dr. Graham looks like a little oldish in these pictures.
I know, in the artwork she looks older, but I always pictured her as, like, 50s maybe.
I mean, Whit could be in his 50s for all we know.
Here's the problem. I think they want you to think Whit is probably only in his, like, 60s. Like,
Right, but I feel like he's in his, like, 80s by
right,
now.
he should be in, like, his 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
But I think, like, in, like, the canon of the show, like, in the canon of the show, I think Connie's still supposed to be, like, 25 to 30.
Except for she's still taking community college classes.
Right, but, like, I feel it's kind of, like, it's hard for me to place anyone, because now that, like, the timeline's, like, just completely gone. Like, Eugene, actually, probably, like, they want you to think Eugene's, like, 30. They probably want you to think Connie's, like, 25. They probably want you to think Wit is like a young 60s.
Eh,
Very sprite young fellow.
yes. Oh my.
Skydiving.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Do they just want to have an episode where they say everybody's ages and that is the official age they are locked into?
That would.
I feel like they should just have a big old birthday party for all of them, and once and for all. I mean, we got to hear about Wit's birthday cake.
True.
Was that in this episode?
That was in the camera episode.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm mixing these up now.
We just recorded album 64 for the people who didn't listen to that first.
But, well, and the ages are messed up because, if I'm remembering this correctly, when Marvin came back for the basketball team episode, he was a high schooler.
Yes, that really confused me.
And
Yeah,
it's
but-
like, did they move? Where did they go? I know they should still be in Connellsville, and what happened to that Wits End?
That's kind of the. It's almost like one's character, even though like some of these kids might be in high school. I don't know. It's like once a character goes to high school, they just never exist anymore.
Maybe they're
Like because there's been implications that like some characters stayed in Odyssey after like the time they left, but they just like never were mentioned again.
That's
And
yeah.
I mean, one thing is, like, Marvin wouldn't be at the same high school as other kids since they're kind of in, like, two different towns, it seems like.
Right.
Well, maybe
Here's
it's like
the.
a combined program.
I think here's my problem. It's probably assumed that like Marvin was probably like junior high, probably 7th or 8th grade. So like by that logic, he's like Odyssey. If we're going by real times, only like 3 or 4 years have passed since like the album 50.
I mean, that could be possible.
Yeah. But I feel like if Wit does ever die, a good, like, easy way to revive it would just be focus on the Wit and Connellsville.
Ooh, we could go Black Panther on Adventures in Odyssey. What?
And
I'm just saying. Maybe we can see how Mr. Washington fixes the imagination station.
okay.
But did they
come on.
ever get that one up and running?
I don't know.
Because at the opening, it was closed.
I thought they fixed it, but I forgot when I stopped bouncing between the two wits' ends.
Yeah, I think it was getting a little too overwhelming, so they just kind of forgot about it.
Okay, we're dragging. We gotta go.